This is Scott from the Runner's Flat. Here to do a little review. This is the Vivoactive HR from Garmin. Deal with Garmin, they released that. The Vivoactive did really well, $250 price point. And then they offer this with wrist heart rate for no added cost.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy. Scott's way more technical than I am on these things. I should say techie. And what we're trying to figure out is how's it going. So this is considered a first impressions. By no means is this a main review of this unit, but we'll get his expertise knowledge on this. So if you're out there looking for some of this stuff, you can check it out. So first off, what did you have previous?
So I was using a Pebble watch before. Used that to track my exercises through a mobile app. So then my watch would give me data, but I didn't have, a heart rate monitor. I didn't have GPS. So what I did was I bought an external heart rate monitor, Bluetooth heart rate monitor, that then I would connect to my phone, and I would connect my watch to my phone. Sometimes I'd connect headphones to my phone. I felt like it took me a half hour to get ready to just go for a quick run. So really now, this is doing heart rate, this is doing GPS, this is doing exercise tracking. It takes me like 2 clicks, and it's replaced like 3 devices, and saved me a bunch of time there too.
A month in.
So, yeah.
Give us the goods. Like easy to set up. You've been in.
Yep.
Garmin has Garmin IQ.
Yep. So for what it's worth, I'm an IT guy, so it was easy to set up, but pair with my phone first try. It does have Garmin IQ, which is our Connect IQ. Which allows you to install different apps. It installs watch faces. The cool thing is I've noticed there's like new apps popping up every day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. It's going to be a new development platform for developers, and people are jumping on board. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Initial impressions, battery life has been great. I initially turned off a lot of this stuff like step counting and all of that because I'm active enough. I don't really care. I don't need that reminder to go out and go walk. But plus I was concerned about battery life. Coming from the Pebble I had for a couple years, the watch lasted like 4 or 5 days easy. And I don't want to watch I have to charge every day.
Right.
But this has been solid. I turned everything off and it would probably last 10 days.
Yeah.
Just GPS tracking of my exercises. But so I kind of turned it all back on just to kind of see, collect some data. I'm a numbers guy, so I love all that data. So yeah, I've been pretty impressed with the battery life and initial impressions.
Okay. What all does it do? Because the funny thing for me is I'm not a techie guy, so I use 30% of the technology. There's a lot of things on a watch that I really want, and so I'll get that model. Before we find out what you're using, what all can it do?
Yeah. I think the one thing that it needed to have for me to buy it was phone notifications. Coming from the Pebble watch, it's nice being able to sit in a meeting or sitting at home and put my phone on the counter, yet I get my notifications and I can see if I want to take that call because it's an emergency or just totally ignore it. I can just see that on my watch without going to grab my phone all the time. But so I love the notifications. There's an app you can install through Connect IQ that allows you to reply to some text messages. You put in, like 5 little things. Pre-programmed, okay, yes, thanks, whatever. Can't call right now.
Emergency.
Yep.
Please call for help.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can program those in, and then you can quick reply. But again, I'm not necessarily using my phone for that, but it has that potential. Like I said, there's all kinds of apps. A lot of stuff is customized towards different types of workouts that may not be added to the watch yet. I saw one that just came through that allows you to do triathlon training. Initially, this watch didn't allow you to record multi-sport in a row.
Miles per hour.
Yeah, well, just even that jumping
gotcha.
From sport to sport to sport. But then someone developed an app for it. So so I think that just having that Connect IQ store pretty much opens up the possibilities of what can happen.
So what are you using, and are you happy with all the stuff so far?
So I'm using, the biggest thing is just tracking all my exercises. So I commute by bike year round. So
in Iowa, it's not California here.
Nope. Yep, my cutoff's -30 in the winter, so.
That's what his wife's comfortable with, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, it allows me to quickly, like I said, literally 3 clicks, and I'm started recording that activity. Where before I'd have to punch it all in before I put my phone in my bag to then commute and then remember to shut it off. Just makes it super easy to track that stuff. I'm doing phone notifications like I mentioned. Super convenient to have that. Calendar reminders popping up on my phone when my meetings are or whatever. And my daily heart rates, I'm doing that. I'm letting it record my heart rate. Like I said, I initially turned all that off because I didn't know about battery life, but it's so solid I've turned it back on here recently. So I'm excited to see over time, what's my daily heart rate look like?
Okay.
When am I getting overtrained or when not? And, when I am healthier, is my heart rate dropping and resting heart rate? I'm going to try to let it record during at night for sleep.
Yeah.
Because it can keep track of your movements and all of that, so then it tells you how good or bad you slept. I have 3 kids, so I'm afraid to see the data sometimes, but
Yeah.
but I think it's going to be kind of cool. But I'm not a huge fan of sleeping in my watch, but I'm going to try.
We're multitasking, and what he's trying to do is track his activity that he uses. He commutes to work, so that's part of his workout, not commuting to work and then going out and doing another ride when he gets home. When he gets home, he has other duties going on, responsibilities, and so he's able to stay super fit and keep in contact with all that data so that he can look at it and see, well, I'm doing this, but logistically I'm missing a couple things that maybe would get me in better shape, and I could ride my bike to this meeting, or I could get up in the morning and do this or whatever, but it tracks all that.
Right.
And so perfect watch for someone wanting to do all that. And now with those triathlon features and again the apps continuing to progress, sounds like you're going to be able to do a ton.
That's one of the things. I used to be a personal training major, so I was super interested in all those numbers. I'm a numbers guy, so
yeah.
I want to start looking at that data, especially over time and what it looks like.
And so far so good, and I think it looks good. Yep. Thickness, weight, how?
Yeah, it's a little thick. I bump it on some stuff. I did get a screen protector, so it's all plastic, so I was a little worried about that. But it seems to be holding up pretty well so far, but again, 4 weeks in. Weight isn't too bad. It's all plastic, so it makes it lighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, the screen lights up when you move it. You can change those settings, but the screen, I've heard some good and bad about the screen. I think it's good. It's color, but it's on all day. So I've been pretty happy with that part. Again, battery life is good. I use it to wake up in the morning. It's my alarm. Yeah, it's been good.
The band too, is screws.
Yep.
In the side, and so instead of having pins or it being one piece where when it breaks you're just out of luck, it's replaceable.
Yep.
You can kind of customize. They have more than one band, I think, available. Yep. But because it has those screws, if it busts, you can get new bands, which is nice because then they're letting you keep the watch for more than the time it takes you for it to break the band. Or whatever.
Yeah, it's not built in. It is proprietary with the screws, but they do have multiple colors if you're into that. But.
Cool. All right, we'll get you a main review as soon as we can. Thanks for joining the Runners Flat. Catch you later.
Peace.